The arguably most desirable Audi SUV gets an update. This is here the Audi Q8 facelift with Thomas and Autogefühl in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go here because a facelift lifts the face with a new mask here around and a new front grille and new headlamps. This is here the S-line, almost the same like the SQ8 then in the styling, and that means these open holes here, kind of honeycomb design. Then you have these L's here as design element that have been introduced with the Audi A8 facelift, and they mirror here and here, so they're in a different direction on the other side, especially for markets like some US states where you don't need to have a front license plate. You maybe have seen everything is blacked out here. That's an option. This one here has the black pack, so this is in black, this is in black. Here also the transitions and so on. It doesn't have to be that way. You can also get it in a less sinister look. And the Black Pack Plus means also these darkened out Audi rings, which are, by the way, now in this two-dimensional styling. This is also part of this new CI. And as for the headlamps, new daytime running light signature. And actually you now have 4 different stylings, both here in the front, also in the rear later on, so you can individualize the lights even more. But that's only possible with the top lamp spec. The logic now is starting from normal LED, then matrix LED, and this is here HD matrix LED with laser light as an additional high beam function. The length stays at 4.99 meters or 196 inches. What are the changes? Well, first of all, a new color. Different colors are available now from the new color palette. And this one here is called Sakhir Gold. Sakhir comes from the desert in Bahrain. That's the naming. And the strange thing in German, Sakhir is, sounding like Sack here. It's like bag here, or give me a bag, like Sack here. Yeah, that's a German thing. Sorry about that. So now about the wheels, 20 to 23 inch. And these here are 22 inch, so somewhat in the middle, but already huge also in the black styling. When you go for this dark package or this black pack, then you also have the black insert right here. And typical for the Q8 is this coupe-alike design, but it doesn't go in that coupe-ish direction if you compare it to a Mercedes GLE or BMW X6. Technology-wise, by the way, on the rear axle, you can also get a rear axle steering. That means the rear axle turns in the opposite direction, or the rear wheels turn in the opposite direction than the front wheels, up to 5 degrees. That is either an option or a standard with the SQ8. And same also goes for the suspension. You start now already with an adaptive suspension for all models, so they kind of upgrade the base equipment. Option then again air suspension, which is then again standard for the SQ8. In the rear, a new signature, and also look at that here. The approaching light kind of warn, hey, don't come too close. Might be for pedestrians. Don't scratch my car. Or also, of course, when you're another car and you drive too close to the vehicle and then saying that, hey, don't drive any further. There we go. And this is now OLED. Once again, only if you go for the highest spec LED. And you can also get 4 different light signatures here for the rear. This black panel is more integrated with the rest of the element. Once again, the two-dimensional Audi rings. And you have not seen an S-Line badge here on the outside. This is an S-Line vehicle. But this one signals the S-Line then here. And if it would be the normal Q8, then this would be just gone. And the S would also receive this one. It would say SQ8. And now to a huge success for the Autogefühl fake exhaust police. That's a meme here on our channel, that we always watch out for fake exhausts and criticize them with the fake exhaust police siren. But here, Audi have listened to our prayers, or to the fake exhaust police, because you can see the exhaust pipe really transitions into this outer tip. So it's one part, one piece. Actually, the real deal. No job for the Autogefühl fake exhaust police anymore. Yeah, and we have changed that together. Turning indicators in the front, here in the cascading style. This is now even standard from the base light version. The same also counts for the rear. The cascading function here is also standard. Yeah, just the OLEDs underneath. This is once again a separate option. You maybe realized light is indeed a big thing here now at Audi. So there's also coming home, leaving home function. For example, here when I open the vehicle, there we go, we have the nice light show. So how is the dance performance in the rear? Let's take a look. Ooh, wow, that was fancy, right? Let's open it again. There we go. That's nice. So what do you actually think about of using lights to communicate maybe with other pedestrians or other cars and so on, and to make lights such an important part of the whole, feature offering of a vehicle? Tell me in the comments. Here at the B pillar we have this laser engraving, and they changed it to be here and not some badge on the outside. This is new actually. I just wonder how it will look like after 10 years. Then the key fob, like this, slim, light, good quality. And when I open the vehicle and then test the door closing sound, listen to that. Wow, that's amazing, because these here are frameless doors, dual insulation, and it's really rare that the door closing sound is good then. Then inside of the doors, nice microfiber use here. There are different decor elements. There are new ones available. This one is an existing one, but new decor elements are available for side of doors and middle console and so on. It's also equipped with the optional Bang & Olufsen system. S-line, you can also see it here at the S-line steering wheel with perforations at the side. And the seats, these here are the optional S Sport seats. So even with an SQ8, the one with the separated head restraint would be standard. So they're basically like two ways, base seat and multi-contour seat, and then on the other side, sport seat and optional S Sport seat, the one you see here. I think this one is the least comfortable one. It's not bad at all or something, but the one with the separated head restraint, sport seat, does deliver you better comfort. The animal skin alternatives are really rare. You get the normal sport seat also with microfiber if the market allows this offering. And that's kind of it. Everything else does have animal skin parts. With 1m89 or 6'2", I still fit here closely though, because this one is also equipped with the panoramic roof. This is also the maximum opening, and you can open or close it with a real button here. I'm so glad we have that, and not always everything #capacitive BS. And then there's also this shade, but yeah, of course we don't need it in the studio, but might be useful in a very hot climate. You know that nitpicking on 100k plus premium cars is one of my favorite hobbies. And so I search for things, and then they also get improved after a while. Here, for example, this small cubby hole at the side, not dampened. Interior cockpit overview. To me, it's somewhat like a good compromise of analog and digital. Here, electronic control of the steering wheel, and on the steering wheel we still have real buttons for the volume, for example, and also to control the digital instruments. Some news there, showing it very soon. And here, for example, you can see the ambient lighting. You can use this touchscreen here, of course. And the touchscreen actually has a quite easy to understand menu. And the second touchscreen in the lower part for the climate units also mirrored here. And my good trick is always when you have here like a 2-zone AC thing, like this, and then you can always like swipe this, swipe inward, and then you have a sync once again. In the digital instruments, here this assistance system view is now more elaborated. You can see the cars passing by, for example, from which are recognized by the radar sensor. And here, when you hit the turning indicators, for example, it's also visualized, or for example, also when you press the brake right here. It's quite neat. You can also change the view, have this one here, or more this classic view, and change the whole view after all, also what you want to see on the inside. But you cannot have CarPlay or Android Auto on the left side. And you can also get this head-up display. Infotainment system with a simple menu actually. New is that you have more apps, like Spotify integration will be possible. You also have a car internal GPS, but most of the time, of course, you will use CarPlay and Android Auto, and both are also available in a wireless connection. What I also found quite cool is that we have this floating console with ambient lighting underneath. And here, this middle console is really massive, slides forward and backward like this, and is also secured. You remember our Porsche Cayenne review, and they are all being built in the same plant. Porsche Cayenne, VW Touareg, Audi Q8, Audi Q7, same platform. The Cayenne only has a US version where the middle armrest is fixed, and in the EU version it's always sliding forward when you're braking and have your arm on it. But this one here is properly secured, so when you brake, it stays where it is. Rear seats, more flexible than you think. First of all, headroom also works for tall adults. And then you can slide this whole bench forward here. 2/3, 1/3 split. And you can also adjust the back part of the seat like this, more upright or a little bit more backward for relaxing position, and also a lot of leg room. Together with a modern climate unit with some feedback here and 2 USB-C chargers. Electric hatch, and also pretty clever solution here. We have an electric slider here. This cover also goes back again, and you see not too much compromise for this kind of cut-off coupe style. 1.40 meters, good one in length and also in width, so very versatile for such a sporty SUV. This monster hand here, by the way, if you wonder, we tried to hide some people in the trunk and they tried to escape, but they couldn't. Under the hood, we have the 3-liter V6, 55 TFSI, 340 horsepower. Stronger on the petrol side would be than the SQ8 with the 4-liter V8 with over 500 horsepower, and there's still then the 3-liter V6 diesel. And there will be an update for the plug-in hybrid version, probably with the bigger battery, because the same already happened to the Porsche Cayenne facelift. See you there.